Young Money. Hey, yo, Spurt.
Yeah.
Young Money. Young Money. Hey, yo, Spurt.
Yeah. Ride with the mob, through our law. Check you and me, and do your job. Earth is the name, Ben Baller did the chain. Torn off for the watch, Prezi plain Jane. Yamagini chain, rest in peace to my superior. Hermes nigga feed a village in Liberia. TMZ taking pictures causing my hysteria. Mama see me on BT and start tearing up. I start killing niggas, how'd you get that truck? I attended Harlem when you risk your life. Uncle used to skim selling nicks at night. I was only 8 years old watching Nick at night. Uncle Psycho was in that bathroom bucket. Hope that they don't cut him. Suicidal thoughts brought to me with no inventory. He was pitching things, selling things, mad ivory. With my head the arthritis in her hands, bad. She was pumping pills like weapons in society. I'll fuck a bitch for the irony. I said, meet you at your head if your bitch keep eyeing me. Ride with the mob, through our law. Check you and me, do your job. Nerd is the name, been ballin' in the chain. Torn on for the watch, Prezi plain Jane. Ride with the mob, through our law. Check you and me, do your job. Nerd is the name, been ballin' in the chain. Torn on for the watch, Prezi plain Jane. Ride with the mob, suck a nigga, niggas up. Ride with the mob, suck a nigga, niggas up. Ride with the mob, suck a nigga, niggas up.
Hey yo, I'ma explain why you probably never see me. I push a Lamborghini, choke your magic like Houdini. My body shake like genie, booty dreamy, waist is teeny. Yes, I told him to get together, so he streamy when he leave me. I go hard in the Biggie fire, give me the loot. I'm a classy millionaire, bitches ain't got the coat. COUTH, cause you can't spell it. If I call him, then he coming home, swallowing Derek. Bitches must be eating because I swear that bottom feeders. How you know that you my son, I should've slapped you as a fetus. All these bitches rockin' bitches cause they following the leader. I just switch it up on hoes and rock a afro like Lupitas. I don't keep up with the Joneses, but I do know Captain Zeta. I'm with Captain CTV and by all I mean I'm Luda. But bitches, they gotta check in with the team. I'm the alpha, the omega, everything in between. Oh, ride with Manon, mashallah. Check in with me, tend to your job. Queen is the name, Rafaello did the chain. This is Monse, Patty plain Jane. Ride with Minaj, mashallah. Check in with me, tend to your job. Queen is the name, Rafaello did the chain. This is Monse, Patty plain Jane. Eat a Barbie, ass or something. Eat a Barbie, ass or something. Eat a Barbie, ass or something. Eat a Barbie, ass or something.
Suck a nigga, niggas up. Suck a nigga, niggas up.
Hello, everyone, my esteemed watchers, and welcome to Poison Points. The suite is open, the festivities have begun. I'm glad to see that Space Buffoon is the first to grace the table. That cute little orb down in the corner. Hello, Beryl, and welcome on in. Feels like it's been forever since I've heard your wonderful voice, indeed. Oh, Maddie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Your face is supposed to show up there, but this is by far the most complicated thing that I've had with StreamerBot. It just doesn't work for some reason. Like, I've tried everything. I've gone through, I've reset the entire thing. It is the only thing that won't work with StreamerBot no matter how hard I try. But regardless. Yes, we've certainly had a long period of not seeing each other. So well, let's get a little bit closer. A little bit closer with Spuffy at the table. How are we all doing this evening? Was everyone's weekends to their liking? I hope it wasn't too stressful this weekend. We've got a lot going on, but, well, I would hope that it's not just because do nothing. Well, yes. But regardless, my weekend was a lot better than last. I had a little bit of a me time, I suppose. Head on verge of spontaneous combustion. Why are you overthinking me, Tsura? All you need is to have me live rent-free inside of your head. Give me a chance to come to the front, and you'll find that, well, it'll be a little bit better for you overall. Hello, Sim. Chilling outside of my phone being disabled? Well, how is it disabled? As in, like, it's shut down entirely? Or I've got plenty of space in my databanks for you, for you, along with all my friends Irisu, so no worries. Perfect. Good. See, once you've been on the show, it doesn't matter how tough of an exterior you have, I have already injected you with my poison, so take with that what you will. I'm not overthinking. It's so hot and humid my computer is threatening to melt just hanging out on the web. Okay, fair enough. That is entirely fair. We've had a bit of a heat wave, and finally it's been this week that it's cooled down just a little bit. Thank goodness. Otherwise, we've been dealing with a lot lately. Also, I've had to do a lot of computer resetting because for some reason it's been awkward. Like, half the time it works and half the time it doesn't, but it's not breaking. It's just strange. Yes, I hope the heat dies down for everybody else as well. And hello, Salty. Swapped provider and they did maintenance when I was going to swap, so it glitched and I'm fucked over for the time being. Wow, that is shitty. I hope that they get back to you in a timely manner. Hello, Creepshow. And I should also say thank you for the follow while we were off stream. I do appreciate it. I will take a sippy. No one walks into my suite and calls me a nerd, so... You got a lot coming for you if you think that you can get away with it. Hello, Desik, as well. Captain Salmon VT, thank you for the follow. We're getting all of the people joining on in tonight. I'm very excited. You know, I feel bad because my normal showtime, being Friday nights, is not applicable for a lot of people. And that's a little disappointing because I ask a lot of my guests on the show when they show up that late. The Tuesday slot is awkward because not a lot of people are able to show up due to the nature of it being a work week or a work day of the week. So I wish that my schedule was better, but for the time being, I have to work with what I have. Yes, welcome on in, new friends. I appreciate it. Anyways, I'm going to set up some music to get some, well, as Bonnie would call it, porn music going. Will set us in the mood. I was wondering why it was so fucking early. Yes, the Tuesday slot is earlier in the evening, not only because I have previous engagements, but also because, well, I need to have a slot for my guests that can't make it that late. It's not even that it's too late in the evening for them. It's, well, they have to work the next day or they're still working. Friday nights are always complicated for a lot of people. So, hello, Wisp. Yes, the porn music, as it were. It's just going to play through this playlist, I suppose. Taking a bit of time to get wound up here, but works out for me. It just hit midnight over here. Well, true, you are on the other side of the world, so yes, I wish I could be. I want to say competitive. This is the least competitive time of day, to be fair, but at the same time, people are still working, so it's a bit rough. At least for my crowd, it's hard. But enough of that. Regardless, I hope that everyone has had a wonderful weekend, and make sure to keep myself inside of your brain. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and a lot of you think you know me, but at the end of the day, you don't really know me. So, how about... I want to play a little bit of a game, but we've done enough games for the time being. I will open up this opportunity from now until the end of the stream to think about this. But if I am not anxiety and depression, then what am I, really? How do I exist in this space? How am I existing while Irisu still lives? Never too many games. I love games. Well, fair enough. Yes, I am your friend. You can always count on me, I suppose. I know you. Well, I know you better, Chance. You are all being far too sweet. A little bit of goops. You're a fucking liar, that's what? Well, technically, I only lie out of necessity, so... I don't play video games no more, never play a video game, except for a bit of God of War, I never play a video game. What about War Thunder, Wisp? I know that sucks you in from time to time, unless you no longer see that as a game. Irisu seriously went like, no, you? Well, always. When it comes to Chance, I have to fight back with all I've got. Oh, is it a song? Is that the song that you were quoting? I see. Well, while you all mull over that, I think it's about time that we introduce our guest for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the... What are you exactly, Moai?
Help! I've been kidnapped. I'm not supposed to be here. This person is I don't know who this is. How
What?
did I get here? Chat, help me. Chat,
You signed
help me.
up.
My location is 1421 Berkeley Street. Help! I have been kidnapped.
I mean, how would I
have
even
never met this
kidnap
frog
you?
in my life.
How would I even kidnap you in the first place, Moai? You are at least double my height, canonically.
Don't listen to them. They're gaslighting you. They had like 20 men.
Oh, and you're saying...
Yamchas even.
Wow, okay, never mind. I was going to say you lost to 20 men, but 20 Yamchas, well, that's a different story, after all.
But yes, hello.
Yes, hello, Moai, and everyone in chat, say hello. I've got hitmen. Well, Moai, I did mention this briefly. You have been injected with poison as per our contract. I hope that's okay.
I mean, I don't know how far that poison's gonna get, but...
I mean, regardless, it's still there, even if it is dripping out of where we poked you, so...
Yeah. It's gonna get my fucking skirt all wet.
Well, how are you doing this evening, Moai?
I am doing wonderful. It's actually, like, decent weather outside. It's not... I don't want to scrape my skin off because of the heat, so...
Yeah, it's the same over here. We had a huge 90 to 100 degree heat wave out of nowhere. And then it dropped back down to 70, 75 degrees, thankfully.
It hasn't been that bad heat-wise, so that I'm thankful for at least, but...
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, I will rub it in. What about it?
Well, we got to take the victories that we can for the time being.
You're hot, I'm not.
Rock types are resistant to poison type moves, but not immune. This is true, but I'm a little built different, as it were. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the show tonight, Moai. Mm-hmm. Thank you for, being here. This is our first time actually meeting, which is
I've
quite
never
surprising.
met you before in my life. Yeah, very, very shocking indeed.
Yeah, I've heard tell of this legendary Easter Island head, and I just knew from the beginning that I needed to have you on the show in the first place. And
for sure.
Here you are.
Well, it's a pleasure to be on.
Well, wonderful. It took a little bit of planning, but, conflicting schedules and all that, but...
Yeah.
It was meant to be, after all.
I am a busy bungus, after all.
Yes, and as am I. Our schedules quite literally conflict, I think, more than anybody else that I know.
Yeah, probably.
Well, since you're in the hot seat tonight, Moai, I hope you're ready for a little bit of interrogation.
We have heated seats in here? Oh,
I do have heated seats, yes. These seats are quite remarkable, I will say. And many have sat before you, and today it is your time. This is, for all intents and purposes, your stream. And I always like to make sure that everyone knows that. Allow me to give you a shout out really fast. Irisu spell Moai of Knowledge challenge, warning very hard.
Challenge impossible. No, the real challenge is pronouncing it.
Yes,
we still have people saying it Maui. We still have people saying it like that.
See,
absolutely insane.
Always stream while I'm at work, and I can't get the points to finally get the Maui counter that I've been I'm so close. I'm quite literally within 1,000 of you.
I see.
Wow. Moai, or should I say Yoshikage Kira, I have a question for you. A question asked...
Wait, what, huh?
A question asked from last week's guest, Beryl.
Yeah.
Beryl asks, very simply, if you had to pick a gemstone for yourself, what gemstone would you pick?
Don't ask me that question. That's I know too much about this. Oh, there's like a fucking million gemstones I could pick.
Well, what one is best for you? Just like me. Because
you see the problem with it. The problem with it is, like, I can't choose just one because it depends on, the accessorization, Mm-hmm. That's the important part. Like, you can't just pick, like, I could pick one specific one for, like, a specific outfit or look, but, like, that one might not be as good for, for something else. Because, like, after all, you like, if you have a gemstone like that, you probably want to wear it. So it's like, I don't know what I would pick. It all depends on what I'm wearing. If I had to pick something for what I'm wearing, for what I have on right now, just this, it would probably be blue. So either sapphire, probably.
Okay.
I feel like sapphire, because sapphire would contrast. It would really pop with this.
Yes.
That or what's it called? I think topaz is the yellow one. Topaz is a very yellow, piss yellow.
I'd say it's I guess technically amber is more amber, of course, but
yeah. something that accents the gold,
Oh yes. Something that isn't gold, but is just maybe just as valuable to you, at least for looks. Well, Beryl seems very pleased with this answer.
Yeah.
The amber here
just
really...
Just call Tough a gemstone and call it a day.
Indeed. Specifically TUFF. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
Yeah, isn't amber's not technically a gemstone, though, is it?
No.
It's fossilized whatever the fuck.
Oh, well, things can't be fossilized in amber, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Or yeah, no, it's like fossilized sap or something, I believe, if I recall. Yeah,
Amber is
resin.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I was close enough.
Yeah. By the way,
We'll live with
Jacqueline,
it.
thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And Bandit wants to call mayonnaise a gemstone.
Is mayonnaise a gemstone?
I gave
Patrick, mayonnaise is not a gemstone.
Beryl and Bandit made a rock and gemstone tier list, and
If I was not at the top, I will. Was I at the top?
This was actually quite a long time ago, more than a year, if I'm not mistaken. Yet the memory of it still lives on. But I wanted to
Well, you better remake that tier list now and account for me. I am rock number 1.
Give Bandit the benefit of the doubt that technically kidney stones could be seen as rocks, and
fuck yeah!
eating enough mayonnaise could give you a kidney stone.
But what if you ate the kidney stones?
Then you double up. Double the kidney stone.
Exactly! It's infinite stone because, like, you eat kidney stones and that produces more kidney stones. We found the infinite matter production, chat.
Yeah, you just gotta deal with the pain of it every time.
Yeah, we can create infinite stones with just kidney stones.
This derailed so fast. Oh my goodness.
What do you mean derail? I think we are perfectly on track.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it, everybody! Yeah, it's a skyblock cobblestone generator inside of your fucking body.
God damn it! I don't even know that much about Minecraft, and but I know that. I know enough to know that.
What do you mean you don't know enough about Minecraft? What are you on about?
I'm
Irisu?
I'm a noob compared to a lot of y'all.
Didn't we literally?
We collabed, yes, but like the whole time you were the one running the show. I ran around doing a bunch of random stuff. So
yeah, and then I went on a rampage and killed a cat. Yeah, that was based.
Yeah, those were certainly times.
Yeah, I think maybe 2 people in this chat will remember that.
Well, I am glad that you have given an acceptable answer to Beryl.
Yeah.
Beryl seems quite happy. So why don't I start with the icebreaker questions?
Okay.
I like to ask these questions regardless of if you like to act in character or not. These are questions that really dive into you more as a person.
Yeah.
And I always like to start off with, why did you become a VTuber? How did you get from where you were to now as you are?
Why did I become a VTuber? It started as a joke until it wasn't. That is like the most literal answer I can give you. It started as, oh haha, a VTuber can be fucking anything. So I was like, what if as a joke, as a jest, this little guffaw even, I was like, oh, what if I was just a fucking emoji? But no, I was like, that's part of my reasoning, but also like, Well, I was like, okay, Moai is interesting because, you know, it's already like a very distinct face, right? It is already, you know, like something like extremely recognizable. That it can sort of like take over itself, so to speak. Like I get pinged on Twitter like every 2 seconds, so like, look at this Moai I found in a fucking like a home goods store.
Yes, a very simplistic concept turned into it still is simplistic, but the fact that it is means that any additions to it makes it all the more unique.
Yeah.
I do remember the original touchdown moments of when I first met you. Every interaction was a vague meme or shitpost.
Yeah.
No words,
Something
typically.
Like that. Something like that. I was a walking, talking shitpost.
Oh yes, I believe that's basically how we became friends.
Actually,
in the first place.
I am an AI.
Oh.
I started as an AI, and I just start like learning how to shitpost more and more effectively until I become indistinguishable from a human.
Yes,
I am a worm that has invaded the VTuber community.
When are you
You
going
all
to
thought
start?
the AI problem started 2 months ago? No, it started a year ago when I first came in.
Yeah, last year. That's when you made your big presence known.
Yeah.
You really took the internet by storm, and I just gotta know, when are you going to start with the Moai NFTs?
Manager, I want off the show now.
Oh, I think you'll find that I'm the only manager here.
We're canceling it. We're canceling this. Cut to commercial. Cut to commercial. We're done here.
Well, fun fact: I did infiltrate a server, a Moai NFT server, for a long time.
I feel like I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, they were definitely high quality, and definitely not cheap and a scam, 100%. But I learned a lot about crypto bros.
I see.
And it was really funny watching their interactions, because when you look at people like that and you watch how they talk, they are constantly
you study them in their natural habitat.
Yeah, they constantly reinforce themselves that this is the way to do it, and it's really funny. Actually,
it's a cult. It's a cult.
Oh, 100%. I had a lot of fun in that server until I was like, there's not a lot happening anymore, so I'm leaving. I'm out of there.
Because, crypto crashes and all that.
Well, I know it seems a little obvious, but where did you come up with your concept? Aside from the head itself, I'm talking about your body and the ring spinning behind you. Where does this concept come from?
Okay, so that is like a couple gradual details. So the idea of like me being like a buff dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was like, okay, so like Diglett, right?
Yes.
Everyone knows the Pokemon Diglett, and like, okay, what's under what's under the ground, right? And a lot of the common joke is like, oh, it's a giant buff guy, and like that's like same joke also applies to like Easter Island Moai heads. So I was just like, that's what it's got to be. Like, there's no other answer. Like, I actually, fun fact, I did have like an early concept spinning in my brain for a body that was actually like just a completely accurate version of like the bodies that you see like on the island, right?
Yeah,
like,
those
I
are
had
quite slim, right?
I wouldn't call them slim. I would call them more potato-y.
Fair.
They're very round and something. I don't know how to describe them. Oblong, if you will.
Yeah, I think what I'm thinking of is the way that the shoulders taper down into the arms is just a lanky straight down. That's what I'm thinking of. A little bit longer arms than normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was kind of a concept I had spinning around a little. I'm like, that doesn't really like. I feel like that's like limiting. It's like, why have a body at that point when it's like barely, it's like just a torso, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we need to not have it. So that was the idea for like the body, right? But like once I got into also the face paint as well, that was inspired by a Yu-Gi-Oh card actually, called Chronomaly Moai, and I'm like, because I was looking for inspiration of like, okay, how can I like take the Moai head but like make it something explicitly like unique and not just be like just a Moai head, right? Like like give it some like flair and personality. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can add like face paint on, because like that's like a very easy way to express yourself when you're just a head. Like you have to get creative with how you express yourself. And like that was kind of the route I took.
Yes, you need the distinction. Otherwise, you are just another Moai head, not something that is yourself.
Yeah. And then
go ahead.
The outfit, right? The outfit, like down below here, you can't really see it because I have a blanket covering me. I'm naked from the waist down, but I'm sorry, chat. You had to know that information. Do with it what you will. But no, sort of like the I don't remember what it's called specifically, but I at the time, was into Smash Bros a lot, right? And through Smash Bros, I made Kazuya Mishima, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna explore Tekken, like actual Tekken for a little bit. And through Tekken, I found Geese Howard, right? And I was like, I fucking love his outfit, and that complements so well with like a buff over body. And it's like in my head, I fucking loved the silhouette that it produced. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go with that as like a lower body, sort of design. But yes, Woo Tekken indeed. But yeah, so it was specifically like the Tekken version of Geese Howard. Like that was like my primary inspiration for it.
Okay. And is there still a little bit of Mishima in there? Just a touch?
Not really. Like that, Kazuya Mishima was like never part of the design. I mean, I guess the red eyes kind of. That was kind of there before I like went into like the the whole body. Right. I was just like, ooh, magical glowing red eyes. Ooh, spooky.
I mean, I'm sure you still hold people over boiling pits of lava and drop them in from time to time.
Oh yeah, I've done that occasionally.
Yeah, just another part of the day's work.
Yeah.
And where did you come up with the idea for the ring spinning behind you?
The ring was it was sort of a transformative idea. It came from something that was not necessarily a ring, but sort of a half ring, right? It was from this is also like from Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Because like that's where it's like I get like a lot of visual design inspiration, right? Because there's such like a huge variance there. It's like, okay, how can I like turn this into a character trait or like something that I just like from like one specific card art. And there's one series called the Mega Monarchs, and they all have this sort of big half ring behind them, like sort of like how I have it. It's a half ring, and normally there's like a cape behind there, right? That sort of like would cover what was otherwise like the bottom half of it. So it's usually just that top half that's visual. But it's like I liked that silhouette, so I'm like, okay, how can I like transform this into and attach it to what I already have? And so that's kind of like where that and it also created this sort of sense of like grandeur. So it created a bigger visual presence. Because if you take away the ring, like my body is like, even though I'm buff, I'm like very slim.
Yeah.
This gives more like a more like visually imposing upper half.
Yeah, because you have the ring, the outer ring spinning around you, and then there is a tinier ring, which when I was looking at first, I was like,
that's all one ring. That's all one ring. That's like a little engraving in there.
Oh,
it's like a physical 3D object.
Is what I'm seeing part of your neck muscles then? Behind the sash.
I have a backpack.
Oh, that's the backpack. Yes.
That's the backpack.
Yeah.
Everyone like doesn't like realize because like it kind of visually blends into the neck muscle, but there is a backpack there, and there's an entire person inside that bag.
Yeah, hiding in there at all times.
Yes. They're a certain Tanuki that hides in there.
Yes.
They literally just live in there.
And they're constantly gaming at all times.
Yeah.
They got the whole gaming streaming setup.
Yeah, they have a whole PC set. Like Demon Slayer with Tanjiro and like Nezuko. Like this is like the Nezuko box, but for them.
It's actually desync now.
I disagree.
Nah, it's still Peach Tanuki in there.
Yeah. Momo.
Yeah, I really love that that art that was given. That was extremely cute and adorable. If you happen to have it, I would love to see it. But obviously, no pressure if you have to look through and dig for that one.
Which art was it? Where it's like they're sitting on my arm?
I believe it's the one where they're sitting on your arm. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's real easy to pull up. I can pull it up real quick for you.
Perfect.
Where is that? Go on my art folder. And that should be right at the top there. That was the fun fact about that art is that actually was like an in-between phase before I had like fully solidified some of my design, like going into Live 2D. So like you see like it's one of the only like visual existences of like the in-between state when I had my original, sort of design going on, and then like the new design that had like the more elaborate, bottom half and like the cloak and stuff.
Goodness.
Oh yeah, you're bringing that up.
Quite large.
Yeah. You can see, for example, I still have like the single stripes, for instance, on the torso, and like how like my cloak like lower half is just still very simplified.
Yes, I really do love this art. It's very cute.
Yeah.
And,
oh yeah, I love it as well.
Yeah, fucking huge.
Yeah.
But we get to see a little bit more of the lower half of your body's design.
Yeah. Before I started walking on gold bars.
Yeah, 100%. And being naked while you're on interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, very nice. So, if you could go back in time and change one thing about your design, what would it be?
Oh, change only one thing?
I mean, if you wanted to change a few things, that's fine. But what's one thing that does come to mind when you are thinking about your model that you wish you could have changed, or have had changed, but you wish you'd done it earlier?
Well, one thing I think about a lot is, like, I am satisfied with my current model, like, completely as is. Like, but one thing I do think about is, like, okay, but what if if I were to go back in time, if I were to, like, change change things, something I think about is, like, what if I, like, wasn't, like, I would probably take it a lot different route. I would probably, because I have, like, a lot of, original characters, and I may have, like, retooled one of them to, be, what I am instead. Like change, one of my characters, which would probably be a twink. Probably a twink.
I see.
A very pastel, colorful, pale twink. That would probably be what I would be if I would, like, go back in time.
Yeah, so it would be, like, a different concept entirely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And have you explored this avenue? Have you thought about,
Not really. Not
anymore. You've received
maybe,
this,
but...
You received this design, and you were like, that's it. This is the one for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I thought about it, like, semi-recently, but I'm like, this branding's good, I'll stick with this.
Fair enough. And hey, it works out. And to be fair, I don't think that anybody has the name Moai as a VTuber.
Yeah.
Like, you have taken
yeah, absolutely.
a good branding immediately.
Yeah.
Do you wish there were more rock-themed VTubers? Or, like, more Moai head-themed VTubers?
Yes.
A lot more?
Oh, fuck yes. That would be sick as shit.
Yeah.
Having, like, I would fucking kill to have, like, not even just, like, rock VTubers, but, like, Moai specifically themed VTubers who are just all, like, in a collab, like, lined up together like they are, the Ahu. And, like, that would just be it. That would just be the collab.
And it's just the heads right next to each other.
Yeah.
Cutting off the rest of the body. That'd be pretty cool.
Specifically, like, cut off.
Yeah, I think that if anybody is watching right now, that they should consider giving this a thought. Like if you don't know what to do as far as being a VTuber. It
have to be, like, visually distinct, obviously. legally distinct, as they say.
Yes. But
legally distinct rockhead.
Now,
I will sue you.
This is actually a question that Soul asked. He asked this one that I really enjoyed, and I like to go back from time to time and ask these questions. If you could talk to yourself at the start of your career in streaming and VTubing, what advice would you give yourself that you wish was imparted onto you?
Boy, there's a lot of answers I could give for that one.
That's why I ask it, because it is a pretty good question.
That is a good question. I think maybe, like, stick and choose friends more carefully, I would guess. Like, just keep, like, a tighter circle of people.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, that was the thing, is, like, I didn't really have that, like, I had, like, a lot of, like, friends, like, like, a lot of, like, fringe friends and stuff. It's like, I never had somebody who I, like, just, like, tightly hung out with, like, since the beginning. It was always kind of wandering from circle to circle, so to speak. I didn't really have a home until quite a while.
That's fair. That's I think that it's difficult to get caught up in this idea of networking, because you want to be around a lot of people, but at the same time, if you don't have that time to spend with individual groups, then, well...
Just generally, like, having more focus on, like, content creation.
And would you say that you are working towards that goal now and in a better spot now? Oh, no,
absolutely.
Now?
I am a lot more, like, focused on what I'm doing lately.
That is good to hear. I know that you've made a lot of art for people. A lot of assets and all that. And your big boom definitely was beneficial to you. But I think it's time, reeling it back. It's very important to do.
Yeah.
Well, I like that answer as well. See, the thing about this show that I like is learning about how you got, here, right? Learning about the person behind the proverbial mask, as it were, because that's the most important part. You can have the coolest design on the fucking planet, but if you don't have a lot, yes, you do have one of the coolest designs on the planet, but if there's not a lot behind that design, then nobody's going to want to stick around.
Yeah.
Well, very cool.
So I can confirm to you that there's not a single thought behind this eyes.
Yeah. I mean, Moai of knowledge, that knowledge can be literally anything, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Like, for example, it's Tuesday right now. There's your knowledge.
Yeah, we did it. You learned something new today. It is another day.
It is in fact Tuesday today. For those of you who didn't know.
So for some people, they didn't know that. And the remainder of the week is going to be haunting them for the rest of their days.
Mm-hmm.
So, Moai, you wrote this down in the lore section of your application, and I have to know why is it that your real name is Yoshikage Kira? Do you wield some sort of special power? You get 8 hours of sleep every night, so...
For those of you who don't know, when writing down my application, I don't have lore, so instead of it, I just wrote the Yoshikage Kira kappa pasta. Yoshikage Kira copy pasta in the lore section, just in its entirety, because I had nothing to put there, because I don't really have lore.
Yeah, no lore that you even, consider in the back of your mind, or...
Yeah, because nobody cares about lore, honestly. It's...
Hey, sometimes it's fun for you to explore. From a writing standpoint, it could help you get into the mood, but...
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking Tuesday.
I feel like lore, more specifically, is more beneficial to people who, have, less, visually distinct designs. Because, that's, lore is what can, distinctify you, from, somebody else. I don't know, dragon VTubers. Having completely different lores, what can, distinctify them, and, it's oh, this one is this way because this and this, and, this one is, this kind of dragon because of this, and, so on and so forth, and it's, those, besides, any visual distinctions they do have, it's, oh, this is, they're different concepts, so to speak, and, that's where lore can be kind of beneficial.
I see. So you don't even think from, a higher-up perspective where, certain bigger VTubers and the people that follow them also understand their lore. Do you not think that's as important, or do you think that it mostly comes as what's the word, a side effect of popularity?
The thing is, especially at the corporate level, I just don't see lore referenced almost at all. You see it during the debuts, and then they never mention it ever, except to make a joke, right?
Fair.
It's so sparsely used, and it's literally just seasoning. That it's you're never gonna eat seasoning raw. That's just not how that works. It's more... you eat it with the meal, which is their debut. The debut is the meal. The lore is the seasoning, and it's that's it. You're done. You've eaten the meal. You're not gonna go back for more seasoning.
Do you think that there should be more of an importance put on lore, or as in after the debut, it's more something that is still present and you're still working on it?
I feel that only works if you make it a gimmick, right? You make that part of your content, and you make that a gimmick. Otherwise, having lore only detracts from content focus. Because something that I've privy to recently is that VTubing as sort of a hype. It's this new thing, and the boom, sort of the baby boom of them, I guess you could call it, is dying down. It's now starting to become merged with regular content creation, and that is, I think, something important for a lot of people to realize, is that it's you can't just get far by just being a VTuber anymore. You actually have to find a niche, like most other content creators do. Like,
Find something.
it's not the golden days of like, like, oh, I could just throw on a video game and play that, people will, come and watch. Like, that's not a thing that happens anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a niche of some kind that you fulfill. Otherwise, like, you're only going to like get lost in like the sea of everyone who's trying to do, the exact same thing as you are.
2012 has gone. It's 11 years ago.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. I would actually have said that like 2016 was like the VTuber era, all the way up until like 2020, right? Where not a lot of people were doing it. So being able to do it on your own was much more beneficial. And now, and I don't mean to say this as like, oh, we shouldn't be VTubers or something like that, or there shouldn't be that many, but there are a lot. It's hard to do do things as compared to before. So I agree in that if your lore is a Word document that never shows up on a single stream, that it might not be relevant to your content anyways. Some people do incorporate it seamlessly onto their channels, though. And yeah, I think that works. If you can work it in, and it's not like a, oh, tee-hee-hee-hee, and then you all of a sudden get really serious into your lore, that's a little bit different.
Yeah. I think part of it is, I think there is sort of importance on like very like light lore, because like some people do commit to a character more than others, and I think that is where lore can shine and be blended into your content. That is where it's useful, if you're playing a character specifically.
Yes, yeah, and that's sort of what I try to do, but I've fallen out of that because it's hard to sit here and be this conniving little brat the entire time I'm interviewing someone who's just nice and kind.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work the same. And as more people come on, people that I'm not as familiar with, I just can't do it anymore. On the side, I've worked on some like YouTube shorts and content that are in character and I think add to things. So for there it works, but on stream it's definitely going to take a little bit of a rework.
Yeah, I figure as much.
What is, would you say, the greatest source of your knowledge? What's your wealthiest knowledge point?
Like, what do I know the most about?
Yes, I think that's a fair conclusion to draw.
Hyperfixations. Many of my hyperfixations, like when you like you have neurodivergency, either you're 0 or 100 with something. So it's like if you're into something, you're into it for like the long haul, and you could probably recite the entire lore Bible by memory.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
What is your greatest hyperfixation at the moment?
I know it always jumps around. There's Team Fortress 2. There's Yu-Gi-Oh TCGs, Smash Bros. That's one. Bionicle is currently what I'm doing right now, and that's kind of a niche I'm settling into. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Okay. I've recently gotten into Advance Wars competitive, and it has completely taken over my life.
I see.
And I'm not necessarily one to brag. I always try to keep it as humble as possible, but I have been intentionally telling people that they can't beat me in Advanced Wars to try to get them to challenge me.
Okay, but what about Smash Bros?
Smash Bros, you got me beat there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you went undefeated in our matches online. Granted, it was Nintendo Online of all things that decides those things, but
oh yeah, blame the internet. I see how it is.
I always will.
Yeah.
Salty says, I think there needs to be a distinction between making characters and being yourself. There are ways to make a character that appeals more to the individual's personality. I've been making multiple characters for my Twitch channel.
Yeah.
And you can make it quite fun. I think that there are so many different ways to approach it, and that in and of itself can be the niche that you fall into. And if you provide a cohesive experience, then somebody stopping on by will see that cohesion And it works better than, I would say, just having everything all over the place and not really focusing on anything. And one second you do this and then turn around and do that. There needs to be at least some cohesion in your content, whether that is following your lore or being yourself, And even in that certain frame of mind, even if you follow your lore, you're still being true to yourself. You're just putting on a little bit more of an exaggerated act, I suppose. Oh, it'd be in War Thunder in probably every category. Never mind, we're not talking about that one. I'm still quite cracked.
Time to leak, but can you beat them in leaking government documents?
I mean, I don't do my taxes, so technically no. You can't beat me in tax evasion. I'll just say that. As a frog, I am far and beyond all of your capabilities.
This is a joke.
Anyways. You have spent a lot of your time as, well, your beginning days, I should say, as a shitposter. But through that, you've met a lot of people in your travels. What would you attribute that success to?
Like being able to meet people and make connections. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, basically.
That is an interesting question. I think part of it has to do with the fact that I'm just not fucking scared to talk to people. Like, listen, I know it's copium, but the VTuber community, it's very introverted. You guys don't like to talk to people.
It's true.
Like, just going to VC, it's not that hard. You guys just mentally break down when you have to talk to a cashier?
Yes. To be fair, sometimes, yes.
It's something that's I think I was like that before until I realized I wasn't like that, and I was just, socially ostracized when I was very young. So it's I didn't develop that skill until later, but once I did, I'm okay, yeah, I can do this with basically anyone.
I mean, I like to tell myself that I can do it, but I do find myself preparing the conversation that I'm going to have with somebody.
Yeah.
And if that goes awry, then I start to break down. I start to lose my stake in that conversation.
I see.
Yeah. Even though I can turn on a camera and do this pretty effectively, it's strange. It's very weird. There is a bit of extroversion that comes out, but my introverted side is quite strong.
Yeah, I think, part of it is... Oh, what was I gonna say?
I mean, confidence is one thing. Being confident but not cocky. Or, if you are cocky...
Yeah, I guess how it kind of, broke for me was, it's when you talk to people, you get things. You get value out of talking to people, so that, that inherent action is, something to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be why.
Have confidence, no confidence. Well, yes, because when you're pushy, that's different, right? Because being pushy, you're just annoying. But trying to start up a conversation, even if you're told no or ignored, that's just, put it on the back burner for now. Move on to the next person that you want to talk to and get to know them a little bit more. I see. After the first time of randomly reaching out, it becomes very easy to just start contacting people. See, my problem is that I'll do that. I'll have a good few chains, and then either someone will ghost me, and then I recede just a little bit back into my shell, and I'm like, that doesn't feel very good. I'm gonna hide amongst my friends. And be introverted for a week before I decide to go out and do it again. It's a difficult task. It's quite difficult. Easy in the moment, but the workup can be quite difficult in that first running leap.
Yeah, but it's you work yourself up. You just don't give yourself time to think.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is people give themselves too much time to think about it, and like that's the problem. Is you think about like, oh, this, that, the other thing. Okay, worst case scenario, they ghost me or say no. Okay, boom, done. All right, let's message them. Let's go. No harm done if like things go wrong.
Yeah, like people like to say that the worst they could say is no, but technically the worst they could say is nothing. And so just move on from that point. Out of your mind after that.
Yeah.
Also, hello, Grandpa. Thank you for stopping on in.
Oh, Grandpa's in here? Where? I didn't see him.
People can physically shake you in real life. You can't shake someone for having a bad opinion on the internet. Yes. Which, does tend to lead to some pretty stupid situations. VTuber.
Grandpa in chat, what?
Do you not see?
No.
Under Eldritch Grandpa, underneath what Salty Boy Live just said.
I don't know. Why is that not showing up for me? Hang on.
Intriguing.
That's
Grandpa,
bizarre.
I promise you, I'm not gaslighting you.
Yes, hello, Grandpa.
Moai can't see us. And hello, Michi.
I think my chat might be lagging.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah,
everything's coming on through nicely on my end.
Yeah, I think it might be a chat issue.
See, there's always at least one problem, and I'm very grateful that it's not just me this time.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, hello, Hidden and Michi and Grandpa. And Chance snuck in there as well. Taking this moment to greet everyone who stopped on by.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us this stream. Now, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. Do you... So aside from like you wanting more Moai themed VTubers, what would you say is like one design, one VTuber concept that you would like to see more of in general? Because we have
interesting question.
We have all of our bunnies, we have all of our cats, we have a ton of different types. What is a design that you want to see more of, or if you have never seen it, what is it? What is a design that you would like to see?
I don't know. I'll have to think. A design that I would like to see.
Buffy, there is a donkey VTuber that I know of, but it's not quite what I was expecting.
Chat has caught up for me now. I think I can see. Yeah, I can see everything. Okay, there we go. I think the browser I'm using is a little clunky in that aspect.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, Buffy wants to see a donkey. Chance says one person doing all 12 astrology sign or the Chinese zodiac. That would be pretty cool, actually. Grandpa wants to see more old people. I do know a few older people.
Like old people as in designs, or older people as in like the people behind it, because those are distinctions.
Yes,
to be
actually.
made.
Blanket question or blanket answer, yes.
Design wise, okay.
Yeah, I want to see both. I think that people of all ages should be doing this just to have a good time and have fun.
More abstract designs would be cool. Like a design that would be cool is like somebody whose like body is like made of like galaxies and stars, right?
Yes,
they're very like transparent. That would be interesting to see, I think.
We do have Just Galaxy, who is somewhat like that, though I'm sure that you mean more like are you familiar with how all of the textures in Chowder work? That all of their clothing, Chowder, the show.
Yep. Exactly what I'm thinking of. Like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like something sort of more like that.
Yeah, that is really cool as a concept.
Yeah, but like having that as like a very like detailed like star pattern galaxy sort of thing. That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Have a little astrology. Well, not signs. It'd be more like the constellations.
Zodiac.
Yeah, the constellations rotating in and out during stream. Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it would also be quite simplistic.
Oh yeah.
All you would really need to do is have a body and then green screen everything in. If you wanted to be as simplistic as possible.
Yeah, probably.
Electro guy wants to see more. Tokutatsu. There we go. That's the word that I.
Oh yeah, like Power Rangers, Sentai, that branding. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be interesting to see.
A green screen VTuber. They are anything that you want them to be. That would be quite interesting, actually. So, this is a little bit of a controversial question, Moai.
Okay.
Because you and I both have experience in this, so I thought it would be more fun to ask. We had a great boom that turned into a crash of support VTubers.
Yeah.
First, I just want to know, what is your opinion of VTuber support as a concept?
That is a good question. I think it becoming a concept is the problem, in my opinion. Is that it started as just something that people did, out of like genuine nicety, but it became, something that people started like identify with, and became, like I said, it became a concept in and of itself. Like, it was an idea, but it wasn't like something that you could call yourself, so to speak.
Yeah, you just kind of did it. It was a part of you, right?
Yeah. It was like, that was, the thing is, that behavior stemmed from, me playing, an old MMO. And like, I would always, help and, ferry in new players and, do that, one-on-one. So it's like, that behavior of just like helping like new people into something, that was just natural behavior for me at the time. So like, that's why I started, do it in VTubing. Because it made sense to me.
Yeah. Is it bad that as soon as you said VTuber support, I thought of a bra with VTubers on it?
I mean, branding idea, merch idea, there you go.
Two big honking Moai heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need all the support too. Yeah, I agree with you on that front. I feel like the second it became a thing that you slapped onto your channel, which I was a little guilty of, just because I, wasn't sure what to do about that. But the second you slap it on there, it's a bit, it muddies the meaning. And what does support really mean at the end of the day?
Yeah.
It wasn't just about retweeting, but that's what it became. That you needed to retweet everything.
Yeah, it became something that it became too defined, I would suppose. Yeah. I said we could have a whole 2-hour stream just discussing
100%, yes. I have plenty of takes on that one, a long list of things that I've kept to myself. But so as a concept, it has died, I would say. Like, you very rarely see it, and it's it is frowned upon to put it. But do you think that there are ways to support people without that label on you? Like, what would be a way for somebody who wants to do that without labeling themselves, for them to support other people?
Yeah, lurking, I guess, is one, but just your actions as an individual, like physical actions that you could do. I mean, like I said, just like bring up somebody else's content, just like be there. It's like there's all I feel like it's doesn't really change much. It's just you just don't label yourself as one anymore, and you get to, I guess, just pick and choose who you want to do. Like, you're not obligated to do it for everybody. It's like, I feel like that sort of thing just kind of exists in a lot of content creation spaces, like, as is. It just became a thing in VTubing because reasons.
I think everyone, regardless of the tag, should look into other creators, and if you dig it, then support and share them. Yes, you don't have to necessarily be friends with everyone, but you can still enjoy their content and be there whenever. They don't even have to support you back, I think, which is the biggest what everyone thought would happen is,
Yeah.
if I'm a VTuber supporter, then I'll get it back.
Yeah.
Which works as long as not everyone labels themselves in that way. It's a weird back and forth scenario. But I mean, the thing is, I don't know literally any VTuber who doesn't do this.
That's why it became a thing, is because
Yeah.
they realized, the give and take of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the problem with that became is that it kind of degenerated in on itself.
Yep.
Because, everyone else is, a content creator as well, so that doesn't create any sort of, like, sustainable audience, so to speak, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was this weird thing because, I mean, I'll just be upfront with it. I hated it. It burnt me out on Twitter because...
Oh, yeah.
All I saw every day was 20 plus notifications. And what was originally...
Christ alive, yeah.
Yeah, what was originally me holding conversations with people got kicked so far down with @TheRealIrisu, @TheRealIrisu, @TheRealIrisu to retweet things.
Yeah.
And I felt like nobody knew who I was anymore.
Yeah.
And
you just became a bot to people.
Yeah, like that's all I was. And I'm like, well, I create content too. I'm not going to ask you to do it because that's just not in my nature. But that still hurts to not be recognized as a real, tangible being creating things as well. So after all of that, going on hiatus and trying to just, let people know over time, it has slowed down to a point where I can actually read feeds and keep conversations going.
Yeah.
Did you need more pictures of Garfield? I can never have enough pictures of Garfield, Chance.
I'm gonna pretend like I know what that interaction means.
Chance has this penchant to send me various cursed Garfield images to help cheer me up from time to time.
I see.
I try to earn my supporters nowadays. Most of the time, it's just me genuinely simping for someone until they notice me, check out my content, and end up liking me. It's a weird cycle that just keeps happening without my intention. That is boiled down. Yeah, that's all you got to do. You just make friends with people slowly, and it will happen. It will snowball eventually. Garfield makes you happy. I'll remember that for the future.
I'm sorry, John.
All right. Well, on that same vein, though, do you have any advice for VTubers in general in order to help their content grow and elevate themselves as content creators?
Oh boy.
Now, there's a lot.
Where do we start? Oh, there's a lot to go into that. Like I said, niche is so insanely important. Like, the thing is, like I said, you can't thrive off of just being a VTuber alone. You need to become a quote unquote normal content creator and just have the VTubing, be a different side. Like, it's now just a tree rather than it being two separate concepts. Like it used to be. Like, you have the content creator base, and you either be a normal person, you go that way, or you be a VTuber, you go that way, but you're both gonna eventually have to come back at the same area. You both have to eventually do the same thing. And so you really do need to focus on something, find a niche, focus on that, and you have to commit to it. It's I know everyone wants to be just variety gamer man number 378, but like I said, there's 378 of you who are doing that exact same thing.
Yeah.
If you actually genuinely want to succeed, you need to focus on that niche. Not only that, you need to be consistent. You need to learn how platforms work. You need to learn how YouTube, for example. And you cannot rely solely on Twitter. You have to do either TikTok, if that's still a thing in fucking 2 weeks. I don't know. YouTube primarily is a huge one, but you need to go 3. You have to have Twitch, you have to have Twitter, and then you need to have the third platform somewhere, something else. Be it on fucking Fansly, YouTube, Reddit, who cares? Just somewhere else that isn't, the oversaturatedness of Twitter and Twitch, right? Somewhere that you can more accurately, reach the niche that you want to reach.
Yeah, Twitter.
That's what is important.
Twitter used to be good for that, but now we're a little bit gatekept, even with a verification guaranteeing more interaction. It's still something that, like, if you don't understand it, which a lot of people still don't, you will fail. It is unfortunate. That's a harsh truth. But I will say that aside from being on Twitter, YouTube is really good. If you can find something that you like to talk about or want to talk about in general, YouTube is the place to go. Because I gotta say it, Google does a really good job. They have a good SEO system that works, and it actually makes sense. And it's just a matter of timing for a lot of it, and a slow snowball. You just got to keep building, right?
Yeah.
If you're small enough that you're worrying about the Twitter algo, there's nothing you could do with it. Yeah, exactly. There's literally nothing you could do. Post whatever you want. Obviously, if you want to keep a brand, make sure that you stay consistent with your brand. It will come with time. If you want to know a fun fact, I am technically on Twitter bigger than most partners on Twitch. It's
because like Twitter is just, it's so easy to quote unquote grow, but the turnover rate, from Twitter to Twitch is completely like, ass backwards.
Yep, 100%.
There's a reason why most Twitch partners don't have a big Twitter following, is because guess what? They actually focus on streaming and their content on stream more than they do on Twitter.
Yep.
Twitter is just like a secondary announcement platform for them, and that's it. That's all they do. And then because they focus so much on stream, they get the actual turnover rate. Because at the end of the day, stuff like Twitch numbers, that's all where it's going to. That's the funnel. That's the end of the funnel. You need to have it all pour into that.
Yep. And YouTube and TikTok are the gateways to that. Although, again, TikTok might not be a thing.
Although I will say, I think that there is kind of a completely separate I guess a dichotomy for artists specifically, because then Twitter becomes very different.
Yes.
Then that changes the whole fucking ball game. If you're an artist specifically, everything is different for you, because then that becomes your main platform.
100%.
Twitter becomes your main platform, and that will then you get very high turnover rate. If you're a good artist and you stream on the side, then you get a very high turnover rate. I know a lot of big time artists who's they're known for being artists, but they stream on the side, and because they just have that insane quote unquote art clout, they get very high turnover rate just on streams. Some of them don't even need to use Twitch because they are that big, right? A lot of them use different platforms just because they can get away with more on those platforms. I don't care what I use because I know that I'm going to get viewers no matter what I do, so I'm just going to go to a platform that has less rules, less strict. For example, if you're a smut artist, you can draw your smut on some other platform. You can't do that on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's that that's what they do.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
This isn't to say to never use Twitter, because Twitter is still a tool. It just shouldn't be the first thing that you pick up in the morning thinking that it'll do it for you,
Yeah.
I have many pieces of advice on Twitter, and the biggest one that I will give now is the only way you grow on Twitter is starting conversations outside of your own tweets. If you interact with people, more often than not, you'll notice in your own feeds, those people you talked to show up, and the same is reversed. So if you are unlike me, who got really burnt out doing it in 15K in less than a year, and you do that works legitimately. But there is a caveat to that, which is you need to have genuine conversation. You can't just go, "Oh, cool," or "K," or "LOL."
Yeah.
There needs
need to be contributive.
Yeah, there needs to be something valuable in every reply that you give. That's my biggest piece of advice to grow in any capacity on Twitter. And at that point, the check mark means nothing. Pointless, because you're already doing the dirty work of the algorithm for yourself. I can't believe I have to interact with other human beings. That's the nature of the job.
Yeah, you have to interact with people. That's what I'm saying. Y'all are introverts. You don't have like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I got over it. It's like, okay, I need to do this because this is going to get me places.
Yep, 100%. And the thing is too, because I tend to be a bit of a petty person. If somebody doesn't reply to me right away, I'm like, oh, they hate me. I'm not going to talk to them ever again.
Oh, you let the intrusive thoughts win, huh?
Yeah, I do. I do on occasion. I'm guilty of it. But sometimes life happens, Yeah. They can't respond to you right away, or they forget, or something like that. But if you do interact with other people, and you do get them to join in with you, the people that, forgot or missed that opportunity will come back around. And they'll notice. It'll work. Thank you, Chance. I appreciate it. And I apologize. I can't always be there for everybody else. Because life. Oh my God.
All of us are busy. That's another thing is that people overthink things so much. And it really is kind of a detriment, to talking to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was oh, they hate me, blah blah. I was in reality, everyone is just it's kind of the moment of oh, you realize everyone's life is as vivid and complex as yours is.
Well, that's the thing is, let's talk about interacting on Twitter, because that's where a lot of us interact and start from. It starts there, then we join the Discords. But on Twitter, because it's a platform where anything you say goes, drama gets started so easy and so fast. And the problem is that people equate drama to what VTubing should be, and it becomes this high school weird situation. When in reality, if you were to meet somebody that was involved in this drama in real life, more than likely that's not how they act IRL, right? So there's a disconnect there. So if you want to interact with other people, you have to remember you're not interacting with the personality that is being shown. Just interact with the person behind that personality. Implying my life is vivid or complex. Hey, it could be. But yes, I very good advice, I'd say. Honestly, you know what, Moai? At some point, if you wanted to do something like this again, in more of a podcast sense, I would be down if the topic was just this.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be interesting. Just but again, it's everything is so busy.
100%.
That is 100% the thing.
We'll make it work out.
Maybe, perhaps, sometime, some point. Well, maybe we will discuss in future. I will contact my manager, aka me.
The manager upstairs in the brain. All right, well, I think that this is a great time to take a little bit of a break. Okay. While we step away to grab some liquids, some food, run to the restroom, stretch, chat, if you have any questions for Moai, don't ask them quite yet. Get them ready, and we'll have Moai answer them when we're back from the break.
Yes.
So we will see you in just a moment. All right, everyone, we are back.
No, we're not. Don't lie to them.
Okay.
Go back to the BRB screen.
Okay. Like, are you ready, or?
No, I'm never going to be ready.
Okay.
I just like looking at this like little bus stop animation.
Well, I'm glad.
This is adorable.
I wish.
Yeah, no, let's go. Let's get on the bus. Let's get on the bus.
Yeah, we're here. We're back at the station. Out of the station. We've made it in. Well, everyone, I hope that was plenty of time to prepare some questions for Moai.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that he is ready to answer any questions that you may have for him. Well,
my body is ready.
Almost any question. I'm sure there are a few things. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, go for it, Salty. This is basically like free range at this point. Go ask away, and we will go through as many as we can.
Ask questions. I'm staring at chat with like the might of God. Kazuya Mishima with Richter Secondary. That is my Smash man. Easy.
He is the most terrifying Kazuya character, or player, I should say, that I've ever had the opportunity to play against.
Displeasure of playing against.
Yes.
Yeah,
the displeasure. I've taken a total of 4 stocks off of you, maybe 5, out of like the 20 games that we've played.
Yeah. This is the end of the video, but I'm wondering if it was that Wheel of Symbols. Oh, the reason why I have the Wheel of Symbols, so the wheel itself is like it's just like a visual, like aesthetic thing. Basically, it's done because like, oh, I thought it looked cool, right? You know, like the thing in the back is it says the same thing as like what's on my sash there, which is just Moai written in what is basically unknown from Pokemon. Mm-hmm. That's almost essentially what it is. When's the Moai over Kazuya mod gonna be done? Oh, that would be fucking amazing. I would kill people for that.
Moai of knowledge.
That.
Yeah,
imagine that.
You get moused over and selected, and it goes Moai.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. I think that if there are any modders in chat for any reason, and you know how to mod Smash Brothers Ultimate, then by all means. Hope I could play my Ganon and Joker against you. Joker would be one, but Ganon's rough.
Yeah, when will Moai fight Eldritch Garfield? I don't know what that means.
I mean, you're familiar with the terrifying presence that people like to draw Garfield as.
You mean I'm sorry, John? That?
Yeah, basically. I'm sorry, John.
I mean, if somebody wants to draw me fighting the, like, Eldritch Garfield, that would be fucking amazing.
I'm sorry, Moai.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
I'm sorry, John.
Could you take on my Garfield stand? Chance is very obsessed with Garfield.
I can tell.
I love it. I think they got... I might be able to find it here, actually. They did get art with Garfield as their stand, which was pretty good. I'm not going to lie, it was pretty funny. Allow me to pull that up on stream. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Silver, for gifting a sub to Salty. I appreciate it. 149 subs.
Good God.
That is $700-ish. Yes. I've been in the ultimate modding scene for a bit, just adding music and sound effects. Not saying much else before Nintendo assassinates me. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
That you don't want to get them caught. I wish I had $700-ish. I also wish the same.
What's an ish dollar? What country's currency has the ish dollar?
That would be my bank account, actually. The sole proprietor of those dollars is in my bank. So.
Oh, what's like the USD conversion rate? Like 1 to 50?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Like maybe closer to like 1 to 60, I'd say. Yeah, there's always those pesky like, because the ish dollar doesn't like to stick around. So like, I gotta work hard to keep those suckers in the bank.
Keep the value up.
Yeah, 100%. If I gotta inflate it on Twitter, if anything, or deflate it, I guess in this case, then I'll do what I have to do. Well, I do have a question for you, Moai.
Okay.
This won't stop anybody in chat from asking questions, of course, but I love to ask this question. It's been something that I've always wanted to do. I love pay it forward questions. You don't know who I'm interviewing next, but if you could ask them one thing, what would it be?
If I could ask them, what would it be? Let me think about that one.
Yeah, this is the super important question of the interview.
How about what is the air velocity of an unladen swallow? How about that? If you get that reference. The speed air velocity of an unladen swallow. Yeah, like easy question, right? Easy question.
See, I know who's next. Like, I have had this whole I've had this whole month planned out. I know who's next every single time. This is going to be wonderful. I hope that you're excited for the answer that they give.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Silver wants to know if it is an African or European swallow.
Next question.
Well,
no comment.
Well, there you go. Well, he has pled the fifth on this one.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody else has any other questions for Moai, I do have one last question for you.
Okay.
Who would you like to raid?
Who would I like to raid? Let's see who is all live.
Yeah, this is a weird day of the week, I've come to realize.
Yeah, let's see. We can go raid Undyne Arashi. They are my model sister.
Let's see here. Oh, don't bring up my own channel. Yeah, could you send that one to me? Thank you.
I put it in chat there.
I accidentally pinned it because of the way that these
skill issue.
Yeah, the way that these work. Let's pull them up. Okay. Oh, I love their model already.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Like I said, they're a model sibling.
Yes, Skittle issue. Well, Moai, do you have anything planned for this week or any big events coming up?
Thursday, I will be streaming. You know, my usual content, which is currently playing through the entirety of the Bionicle video game library.
How's that been going, actually?
I have gotten close to breaking things. My sanity, my desk, my controller, possibly my keyboard.
Just unbelievably difficult because of the control scheme?
Not entirely. These games came out in like the very early 2000s by third-party developers that probably didn't have QA testing. That alone should give you an idea of what kind of games we're talking about here.
Yeah, I already know in that case.
Yeah, basically, Kaizo games. Like, they're basically like Kaizo games. Like, rage-inducing... Ugh.
Do you have any big plans, like any big events coming up that you're working on, or...?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, cool. Well, that is good to know. Those of you who have not...
stuff very far out that might be coming to fruition, but I don't know if I'm at liberty to speak about it yet.
Oh? Okay, yeah. Okay.
It's quote-unquote, leaning into the niche.
Ah, I see.
We'll put it that way. Like, when you lean so far into that, like, you come out the other side, and it's like you start to, like, find that shit, and you're just like, yes! Yes! And you start to, like, fall into, like, that content creation sphere because of how far you've leaned in.
Well, I'm excited to see it. You said it's within the next few weeks?
No, this is months out. This is
Okay,
months
okay.
out.
Perfect, perfect.
It's on a specific day for specific reasons.
Well, y'all better take that day off, whatever that day is. Whenever that time comes, take the day off.
Yeah.
Well, we will go and raid Undyne Arashi.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show again, Moai. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, yes, well, thank you for
This wasn't
allowing
my
me to
choice
kidnap
now,
you.
was it?
It depends. It depends. But thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to be on the show tonight. It was a real pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We are going to send you out to Undyne. Do you have a raid message, Moai, that we would like to create? That it? Okay.
No. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. I was just like, well, they are my model sibling, and I was gonna say, you know what, Alabama, let's go.
There you go. That's the raid message.
Yeah.
I want to see I actually want to see this spammed in chat like right now before we go out.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
They'll never know. We'll leave them absolutely baffled and confused.
Yeah.
Yes, there it is. All right, everyone. It was a pleasure to have you all here. Thank you for staring at Moai, and I will see you next Friday when we continue with our interviews. It'll be a real doozy, this one. Good night, everyone. Or good evening, depending on where you're at.